Hey everyone, Mark here with a quick video on consistency. There's nothing wrong with saying, practice until perfect. At the age that I'm at, I realize now I'm not perfect. I've never played perfect. Nothing in my life is perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Okay, you can get through a song, and those of you who play any instrument will know. You can get through any song, and people are going to say, "Oh, that was the greatest thing. Oh, that was so good." But inside, you already know you didn't hit your potential. Or if you're a drummer, let's say you attacked a cymbal and it wasn't the right dynamic hit that you wanted. There's always something that wasn't 100% when you're playing. The stick fumbling in your hand. Something is going to happen that is going to cause you to not feel like it was perfect, because that's just the world that we live in. Now, if you say that you're going to strive for consistency, then that just means that you're making it like as smooth as possible. You're making it as consistent as possible. Consistent, has an element of perfection in it if you think about it to its like logical conclusion. But really, consistent is just something that's just done over and over, like reliable. Think of it like reliable, that you can get through something in a reliable way. Every morning I have brain fog. And some of my AM students, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but it's just been like horrible brain fog. And that has spilled into my practicing as well. So it's not uncommon for me to one day, have less brain fog or whatever, and then the next day either play as well or better, or in some cases be substandard due to just the muscle memory not being there yet, or there's all types of variables as to why you don't play better the next day sometimes, or why you play worse, So you got to factor these things in. But if I'm going for perfection, well, I got to sit down and I got to hit where I was yesterday, and then I got to reach this thing. You are going to fail miserably. You're going to get upset. At least I do. But if I'm like, hey, I was consistent to show up, even though I don't feel like playing, I consistently brought myself here to practice. Okay. Ooh, this isn't happening. All right. Well, then let me now go to the second part of being consistent. Okay. So it's one of those days where it's just not working with hitting the bar or hitting the goal that I'm shooting for. So what I do is I now focus on taking something that sounds rough when I'm playing and playing it below tempo and trying to get a consistent result, okay? I see a lot of students come in with what I call the athlete mentality. You're tense, I must. You do that, you are really gonna fail. You gotta be relaxed on this instrument. You cannot be tense. And you gotta be like willing and okay to play slower than you want to play. But that's where you work on the consistency. When we do a drum roll, for example, okay? Just like everybody else, if someone asked me to do a drum roll in the old days, it would probably sound something like this. All different types of stuff, okay? Missed hits, some were buzzed, some were opens, as opposed to this. Okay, even in there you can hear little bugs, but for the most part, I've worked on being consistent so that right out of the gate it sounds smooth. This also goes for like drum beats. Oh, I remember that beat, learning that beat. Only it sounded more like this. Oh, don't forget my shoulders were like this too. Instead of going, notice the shoulders. Which, if that was my goal, is just making it consistent, and I did that every day without some type of graph like I must reach 200 BPM by the end of this week. Without that type of pressure hanging over me, and all I'm concerned about is consistency, then after a while I could just go like this. So, consistency, not perfection. Hope this helps.